Right now, we're going to show you Chef Dallas Miller's take on a great comfort food, the grilled cheese sandwich. Good morning, Chef. Good to see you back. Good to have you here. Grilled cheese is such the ultimate comfort food, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. So I'm here on behalf of Thomas's English Muffins. They're rolling out their swirl bread this week, and also the Daily Kitchen and Bar. At the Daily, we like to really focus on like family-friendly food. That's why we offer so much like vegan and gluten-free and so many varieties of food. And with Thomas, they asked me to do something that was more, suited for the family, something the kids and everyone would like with the swirl bread. So I worked with them and I came up with this recipe. It's really simple. So easy. So it's Swiss cheese, cheddar cheese, apples, and the swirl bread, and a little bit of butter.
That's wonderful. There's something about cheddar and apples that really go hand in hand, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's like the classic apple pie. Everybody puts like a slice of cheddar on it, or cheddar in the crust mix or something like that.
That's a very Southern Appalachian Virginian thing to do.
I like it. It's delicious. So this is very simple. Is there the key to making the perfect grilled cheese sandwich? Because sometimes I'm in a hurry and I flip it too soon.
So really the trick is to not start stacked, which I'm going to show you in just a second.
Okay. Well, let's do it.
So I'm gonna start, my pan has been preheating. I'm on like medium-high heat.
Yep.
I've just got whole unsalted butter. It's important that you use unsalted butter. And you see that nice foam that's starting to come out of the butter?
That's the milk solids coming out, right?
Exactly, that's where you want it to be. You don't want it to start turning brown. You don't want to burn it too much. You just want to get a nice little bubble, and my pan's not quite hot enough. So I'm going to take the time and...
So you're a butter in the pan as opposed to butter on the bread person? Or both?
The butter's going to see the bread in just a second.
Okay.
But I like to get the butter to the right temperature, use the bubbles in there to find the right temperature of my pan, or else it'll just be sitting there getting soggy.
Okay, yeah, I see them starting to kind of shimmer a little bit. So and you're using a Granny Smith apple.
I'm using a Granny Smith. I like Honeycrisp in this recipe. I like Gala's in this recipe. I like all sorts of stuff.
So anything that's like a crisp apple, you want?
Yeah, I just prefer the sourness of the Granny Smith. That's just my preference.
Granny Smith is my favorite apple.
Mine too. All right, so the pan's not quite hot enough, but I'm gonna get going just to get people show.
Okay, should have started it earlier.
So here, this is the trick you were asking about.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna put the bread down like this in the butter. Make sure I've got plenty of butter there. Pick one of the cheeses to put on the bottom. Then I'm gonna put my apples down. Kind of cover it with apples.
Absolutely.
Make it so every bite has a little bit of apple in it. It's pretty.
And these aren't going to cook long enough to make the apples uncrisp, so that's what's really good about it.
No, yeah, I like the crispiness of it. Oh, sorry. Then
yeah,
you get your other cheese
on there.
Get your cheddar on top. We don't need any bread. I'm sorry, I keep putting the bread on there. So at this point, what I'm gonna do is just get the bread a little bit crispy, not even all the way done. And then I've got my oven preheated. I usually preheat it about 375. And then once I get my bread to a point where it's just a little bit crispy, then I'm gonna put it in the oven, and the heat from the pan is gonna keep crisping the bread, and then the cheese is gonna melt, and then I'll flip it back onto it, and then you have a perfect grilled cheese.
Ah, that is a sneaky recipe, a way to do that. I've never thought about putting grilled cheese in the oven.
Or in the microwave. I've done it in the microwave before, just like 30 seconds in the microwave. But you have to make sure you get your bread nice and crispy if you're gonna go in the microwave.
Right. Now talk a little bit about the bread and the essence that brings, because you've got a cinnamon taste to it. So cinnamon and apples are a great combination.
Yeah, cinnamon and apples and sugar. I mean, that's, at the Daily, I use like a cinnamon apple on my turkey sandwich. And it's kind of, they asked me to do something that wasn't like the norm, just like toasting it with butter or French toast or something like that. So I figured I'd go kind of down the sweet and savory route. We've got savory cheese, we've got kind of tangy apples with the sweet bread.
So is this going to go on the menu at your restaurant?
Maybe for the kids menu.
So, I don't know, kids of all ages might like that.
So it's just a little bit brown. It's not all the way dark. You have to be really careful because this sweet bread has a lot of sugar in it.
Oh, so it's going to brown quickly once it starts glowing.
Very quickly, exactly. So then all I'm gonna do is take it, put it in my preheated oven. And then you leave it in there till the cheese melts, just kind of maybe 2-3 minutes, just kind of watching it. And then you're gonna end up with this nice, melty, cheesy bread. See how it got nice and brown on the outside?
It did. Now, when that's in the oven, that's not the point you want to walk away and go do something. You want to keep an eye on that.
No, it depends. I mean, you could put it on 500 and put it in there for 30 seconds. Just depends.
I like that, cook fast. Well, thank you, Chef Dallas, and we will put this quick and easy recipe on our website for you. Just go to WTVR.com/VTM. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Making comfort food for us.